Hi folks, HR Funk here with a midweek update that's essentially going to be a channel update, and I'm going to try to keep this video upbeat and maybe even a little bit entertaining, but I'm going to be discussing a topic that's near and dear to a lot of our hearts, and that is money. Now I paused because I'm hoping I didn't just lose half of the viewers that started out to watch this video. Now, as you know, my channel is centered around the use of firearms for all kinds of applications, and I've now been operating this channel since 2012, so I'm up to my 9th year, oddly enough, that I have been making YouTube videos and posting them for all of you to watch. And recently I started to think about some things, and I'll tell you the story about how this started. The video that's going to premiere this Saturday, I actually recorded several days ago. And as I was editing it and preparing it to upload, I was not happy with a couple of things about it. The audio quality has some issues, and there were even some problems with the video recording itself that you'll see if you watch that video. And I decided to go ahead and upload it. It's going to premiere. I think it's going to be watchable, but it's just not, in my estimation, not up to my usual standards of production quality. So as a result of all that, I started looking at some new video recording equipment to try to improve the quality of my videos. And as I've been looking at them and looking at the prices of some of this equipment, it caused me to pause and start to think about the amount of money that I'm actually spending for my YouTube videos. And I did something I've never done before. I sat down with a piece of paper and a pen, and I started to go through and list all of the various expenses that I have associated with producing these videos. And then I looked at the amount that I typically earn from my ad revenue from YouTube every month, and there was a huge deficit there. I am really losing a lot of money. Now, I'm not here to cry the blues or to have anyone feel sorry for me or anything like that. I'm just trying to explain what has brought me to the point that I'm going to be talking about in a little bit. So, having looked at all this and then considered some other issues that have been going on with YouTube lately. For example, if you saw the video that I produced and uploaded several weeks ago now, where I was talking about doing the deep cleaning on the Smith & Wesson revolver, and I didn't show any of the disassembly of that particular revolver. I just showed it in various stages of disassembly as I was cleaning it and restoring it back to good health. And several of you commented that you really wished that I was showed the disassembly so that you could see how that was done, and the reassembly to see how it all goes back together. And I would like to have done that for you, but as soon as I do that, YouTube restricts my videos. Now, a lot of people will say they demonetize the videos, which is accurate as far as just a generic term, but what they really do, if YouTube decides that the video is too controversial for them to be able to post, they restrict the ads to any companies who are willing to assume the risk for whatever the controversial content is. And there is a tiny amount of ad revenue that comes in for those videos. And when that happens, there is an appeal process, but if you don't win the appeal, then those videos make very, very little money, even if they're good videos and get a respectable number of views. I'll have some videos that I've posted in the past that have gotten good views. They're good videos, they get a lot of good response from viewers, but because of that restriction, even after several months, they've earned $2 or $3 or something like that. So again, not here to cry the blues, just trying to establish the current situation. So the video that I uploaded last week on the M1 Garand, I thought this is an older established military rifle, and when you look at the checklist that YouTube has that I have to go through when I post that video, it specifically says that I am not showing any modification or changes to or how to build a firearm or anything like that. And I read that very closely, and I wasn't doing any of those things in that M1 video. I was simply showing how to disassemble the rifle. I wasn't modifying it in any way, clean it, and then reassemble the rifle. And even so, that video was restricted. So, and YouTube claims that when a video is restricted, it doesn't affect how it goes out to viewers or the algorithm or anything like that. And I'm not sure I believe that, because that video is pretty good and it's gotten a very limited number of views so far. And I really think that has a lot to do with the fact that it is restricted, and that does affect the algorithm. So some of you know that I'm about to transition to a new job. And in my new job, I expect to have more time available to me to produce YouTube videos. And I know with that increase in production, there's going to be an increase in production costs. So the figures that I set down today, as I was going through with my pen and my paper and all that, are going to increase if I increase the number of videos that I'm making. And even if as I say this, I can see that this video is starting to demonstrate that herky jerkiness that I saw in the video before. I'm still using my old camera because I haven't purchased a new one yet. And again, this is just not up to my standards for my YouTube videos, and it's interesting that it's doing this now. I tested it yesterday extensively and I wasn't seeing this again. Now all of a sudden it's occurring again, and I have no idea why. And I don't know in the audio if you're going to hear that obnoxious clicking or ticking. I don't know where that came from. It just started all of a sudden, and again, I think it's indicating to me that my current equipment is on its last leg. In any regard, as I was saying, I know that as I increase my production volume, my production costs are going to go up as well. And it's getting to the point where I think if I really want to grow the channel, and I don't know that it's ever going to get to the point where it's as big as, say, Hickok or some of the really big channels, but if I can continue to produce videos that those of you who are interested in HR Funk videos enjoy watching, and if I improve the quality of those and I keep new firearms coming in and I'm able to purchase ammunition and all the associated equipment and everything else, not to mention range costs, etc., etc., etc. If I'm able, or if I'm going to continue doing that and improve the channel, I'm going to have to invest more money into the channel. So all this has led me back around to something that I talked about nearly a year ago, and that's the idea of starting memberships to the channel. Now, some of you have expressed over the time that I've had YouTube that you would like to have a membership option or a Patreon option so you could donate to the channel. And heretofore, I've never done that. I never want to feel like I'm asking any of you for money, and I'm not doing that with this video, and I'm not about to start. But if you are so inclined, just like when we do the live streams, and some people choose the super chat option so that they can make a donation and it makes the little emoji and all that, which, by the way, all of you who have donated either money or equipment or anything else to help support the channel, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. You have no idea how much I appreciate that. And all of those have been significant contributions, whether it be actual money or if it's ammunition or other things that you've donated for me to use firearms. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate that. But anyway, I'm again considering memberships through YouTube, and I'm also thinking about Patreon and starting that up. But as I've thought about doing that, I try to think, what can I give back to my viewers so they feel like they're getting something extra in return for that investment or that donation they're making to the channel. And I know one of the things a lot of channels do is they come up with t-shirts or some other kind of trinkets or merchandise or whatever. I don't want to get into the situation where I'm peddling t-shirts or something else. That makes me feel like I should be sitting on the corner someplace with a tin cup in my hand full of pencils, and I just don't want to do that. So I thought about something that some of you have asked me about in the past, that being bloopers or maybe some behind-the-scenes content that I can offer to members only in return for the contribution that you're making. And I thought maybe that would be something at least to get a start into this membership thing, and I might have more ideas as we go, and I can even take some suggestions from some of you for ideas that you might have for improving the channel or special members only content or whatever. Maybe something like a live stream specifically for members, or even something like a Zoom conference or something like that where we could all get together and actually see each other and have a conversation. I thought for a long time about doing something along the lines of bringing people together. Maybe we could all meet at a range someplace and have an HR Funk day on the range or something like that. Do some shooting, have some fun, actually meet each other face to face. I think that would be a lot of fun. Of course, there would be travel costs and hotel expenses and things like that that all of you would have. And I just saw the video freeze again, once more demonstrating the issues that I'm having with my current recording equipment. So in any regard, I'm thinking about doing that, and probably by the time this video goes live, the little membership button will be down there at the bottom. And at this juncture, I have almost 35,000 subscribers to my channel. If only a few hundred, 3, 4, 500 subscribers decide to become members, that probably is enough to infuse enough money coming in that I won't have any problems buying recording equipment or anything else that I'll need for the channel. If this falls flat and I don't get that number of subscribers who are becoming members, then I don't know. I might even get into a point where I either have to cut back on the number of videos that I'm producing, which I really don't want to do, or come up with some other way to try to cut costs in this thing and just try to make it a little bit more feasible so that I'm not throwing quite so much money into it that isn't coming back in any sort of way. And again, I don't look at YouTube as a money-making type of a interest or enterprise or anything like that. I'm not trying to make a living on YouTube, but if I get a little closer to breaking even, it's a little bit easier to justify continuing to do all the things that I'm trying to do. So anyway, hopefully that wasn't too dry. Hopefully I didn't lose too many of you along the way, but that's what I'm thinking of. And again, if that membership button down there at the bottom of the screen that you're looking at right now is live, which I think it's going to be by the time you see this video, and you want to become a member and you want to get into that monthly donation and all that, then all you have to do is click on that and it should walk you through the process. If not, if you want to continue to participate in the live streams and you want to just continue to watch the videos and all that, nothing's really going to change for you. You're not going to somehow be required to become a member or anything like that. Again, I want to keep all of the information in the videos and everything going out just like I always have, but I just wanted to allow an option for some of you, if you're so inclined. I'm not asking or anything else, but if you are so inclined and you want to make a donation or become a member of the channel, then that membership button will be live and you can do that. Again, I'm also thinking about Patreon. I'm looking into that. I was looking at it again today, so that might be something that goes live at some point in the future. But I wanted to put this video out so you see why I'm doing what I'm doing and what my thoughts are behind it, so it doesn't come as a shock to anybody's system or nobody thinks, well, gee, HR Funk said he was never going to ask us for money and now look, all of a sudden that membership button is live, so he must want money, or he's trying to stick his hand in our pocket. And again, that's not what I'm doing. I'm not going to be one of the YouTube personalities who somewhere during each video dedicates a 15 or 20 second segment to essentially begging for money and donations. I find that very, very distasteful and I realize people do what they need to do in order to get by. I've said that in the past. So I'm not trying to be critical of anyone who does that, but I find it very distasteful myself, and I'm not going to do that in my videos. In any regard, that's the midweek update for today. If you have any questions or comments, as always, make sure you forward those to me. Remember, if you've purchased anything from Optics Planet, be sure to use my discount code, which is... And if you use that discount code, it's good for 5% off anything you buy from Optics Planet. See you next time, folks. And until then, good shooting. Bye-bye.